Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on Chess.com's Tactics Trainer and going to do another group of 3 puzzles and simply share my thoughts along the way. Whoa. This feels like a game that would rival the Mortal King Walk. What is he doing down here? King on b7. Well, feels like there should be some mate. We are controlling a lot of squares around the white king. The white king is currently stalemated. Other legal moves on board. He doesn't have any legal moves. Queen is under fire. Well, let's look at something that's forcing. Rook b5 check. Forces king h6. If the king goes to a8, rook to b8 is mate. This knight 2 squares from the diagonal square. Strong piece coordinated with the rook. The enemy king is close by. So rook b5, king h6. It's another forcing move coming up. Rook b5, king h6. Our rook is attacked. We can make a move with our knight to b8, give check, and defend our rook. That would then force king a7. And then what? Rook b5, king a6. Would it really be knight to b8? Feels like an awkward square for a knight. Only has a few options from there, at most. At best. Rook b5, king a6, knight b8, king to a7. Then he has a couple squares. I don't feel like that would be it. Is this really the first move? Rook b5, king a6. It doesn't feel right. Some check here allowing the capture of our knight won't work because the king is ready to just run away on these light squares. Do we have time for some quiet move? Possibly. We may be able to do something like king e7 and get one more piece involved. You know, rook on b8 would be mate. Like, if king e7, queen takes rook, we take the queen, and then we're going to get this rook coming over here for check, and then even bishop to c8 next for checkmate. It feels a little too slow to do this at the start. It seems to work, though, at least in the line with queen takes rook. White is way underdeveloped. What more to consider? I mean, I'm only looking at this rook check and a slow move like king e7 as a start. Oh, there's a quiet move on move 2. Still connected with this bishop c8 move. Instead of this king e7, I was citing king e7 if I could get the rook over here, and when the king is on this square, bishop to c8. Well, how about rook b8, check, king a6, and then one quiet move, namely rook to b8, and we have exactly what I would have wanted with this king rook. The king rook on b8, and then the bishop here. Well, rook b5, king a6, in one calm move, rook to b8. And then You just can't stop mate. On the next move, bishop c8 is game over. Knight controls the two dark. We only need to control this square here where the white king is. And it cannot be prevented. Well, that's going to do it. So mate in 3. With move 2 being a quiet move. And that's... Oh, I'm mistaken. It's not a mate in 3. Man. I didn't see that there was this queen move. That doesn't make me feel so good. I mean, I know how to still win, but... yeah, I mean, we give a check, queen take, or queen blocks, and then we could take the rook and then return. Is that going to be best? 1, 2, and then 3. I think that should be fine. Okay. Had the right idea, but I should have at least considered this queen move. Okay, it's already saying it's solved. So they would only have a queen block. Just bringing up the analysis real quick. Rook check. Rook here. Queen there. We give a check. The queen could block. I don't believe taking with the bishop is correct because it allows the king to now make use of b5 and then run away on these light squares, but just taking with the rook, it's not with check, but the very next move is going to be a discovered checkmate. Okay, right idea, but I should have at least considered this queen move. I guess not too big of a deal. Okay, let's try another. Team white again. Or, not again, we were black in that last one. Anyhow, team white this time around. Okay, we have queen checks on h5 and h4. Let's see. How are we doing material-wise? Not too good. Yeah, we're down a boatload of material here. I see a way that we could get the queen by way of, let's say, a check. And then knight f7 hitting the queen, threatening queen h8 mate. But I'm thinking we should shoot for something stronger. Maybe a mate on the H file. Yeah. That's what I'm leaning towards. This extra material that black has is just way underdeveloped. Knight, rook, bishop, not contributing. This rook, not doing so much. The queen and knight are the two black pieces that I'm seeing have the possibility to defend. Like some queen sack of the knight in case he needs to be eliminated. Maybe the knight playing here and or to f6 and to h6, stuff like that. So these are the only two defensive pieces I'm seeing on the black end. I'm thinking about queen h5 and then queen to f7. This is a really dominant position for the queen, and it controls these g3 squares really well, and may pave the way for a rook up and over idea, like rook f3 to h3. But I will have to factor in this knight f5 to h6 idea, blocking some rook check on the h file. Let's see. Let's start with this. Let's consider queen h5, king g8, only move. It really does feel like it would be queen f7 check next. Oh, guess what? It is this idea of rook up and over, and it's not going to matter if the knight is on h6 because we would actually capture it. And the queen-knight tandem will be strong enough to force mate with the queen on f7. Possibilities for queen g6, or maybe even knight to g6, depending on where the king goes after we play queen f7. So queen h5, king g8, queen f7. Suppose king h8. On king h8, we play rook to f3. I believe on whichever move, we're going to be playing rook to f3 next. Whichever black king move, to h7 or h8, we play rook to f3. Looking for rook h3, game over. I don't see how you stop that in any other way besides knight f5. We still come over to give check. The knight must block on h6, and we simply take the knight. After pawn takes rook, we play knight g6, and that's mate. The other variation is after queen h5, king g8, queen f7, king h7. What are we doing there? We're playing rook f3, knight f5. I guess he has a couple routes to h6, g8, or f5, but I'm thinking knight f5. Rook h3, knight blocks again with the king on h7. We take the rook once more, and this pawn is pinned to the king. King has to take the rook, and then we play queen g6 mate. Have I covered everything? I know I'm really close with this line. Might there be something I'm missing? Queen h5, king g8, queen f7, king h7, rook f3. Suppose there isn't a knight move, but instead a king move to h6. That could never work. They're just moving forward and right into white's teeth. Rook h3, king g5, and rook h5 looks to do it. Yeah, that would be mate. All right. I think we have this one nailed. Give a check. Recognize the strength of a queen position on this f7 square, and they're going with king h8. And now we have the one silent move that we can afford. Rook h3, not f4, because this knight move would stop a rook getting to the h file. Not rook f3 to h3, however. We take the knight and then give mate. These two pieces, super strong. Best combination of pieces in the game. Queen-knight tandem. All right, let's try this last one. Ooh. Whoa, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Playing as black and we're in check. Queen is pinned. Okay. That's quite all right. We need to be accurate with a king move here. If it's not a king move, bishop here, I don't see that working. So the trick here is to find what is the key king move. How are we doing material-wise? Black is up the exchange. Well, our queen is in a pin, but also their queen is unprotected and attacked. There's also possibilities for mate. Suppose king d6. If they're taking our queen, I believe that'll run into a mate in 2 with rook takes rook, king f2. When we promote, get a queen, and give mate. We have f3 covered by our bishop. I'm leaning towards king d6, but I'm a little concerned about a knight move to f5 with check. which makes me immediately reconsider king d6. And maybe I should be looking more into king d7. This too would allow a check with the bishop on f5, but after the bishop plays to f5, then we could scoot our king up one square to d6. Oh, but then that allows a bishop check, and our king is still running for his life. Huh. Let's hang on for a moment. If king d6 knight check, can't we just take the knight? What's wrong with that? I think we could. King d6. I have bishop takes queen covered. There's a knight check and also rook takes rook. No, scratch rook takes rook. That's not working. King d6, rook takes rook, game over with queen f1. Okay, so king d6. I have no fear of bishop takes queen. I have no fear of rook takes rook. No fear of queen takes rook either, because we just recapture. And it's still the same story in that case. With bishop takes queen, we would take the rook and then promote. So, king d6, I'm not fearful of bishop takes queen because of rook takes rook, and then promoting. King d6, not afraid of queen takes rook on e8 or rook takes e8. So the only other move to consider after king d6 is this knight check, and I believe we could just take him. Our other pretty serious threat, two of them actually, is to take the knight with check and to simply grab the rook, or grab the queen on h8. King d6, knight f5 I think is the only thing to consider now. And I'm pretty sure we could just scoop that knight up. Yeah, we're just going to take the knight if he goes here. I don't think any other knight move is so good. Oh, hang on for a moment here. Huh. King d6, knight check, queen takes knight. I wonder if there's some in-between move like rook here. Maybe. Would it really be getting that complicated? King d6, knight f5, queen takes knight, rook check first. In that position though, that might be a clever move. King d6, knight f5. Would we really just make a king move? I still think we could take the knight. King d6, knight f5, we take the knight. Let's say rook d1 check. King here to c7. Yeah, that should work. Because... why exactly? It's still a bit tricky. Having trouble working out what to do after rook to d1 there. Queen is on f5, king is on d6, king is in check. No white knight on the board. What would we do here? I mean, there's a queen block, but they could take our queen with check. We would recapture. We're on the queen, and threatening this, although there is queen h4. I mean, another idea is after king d6, knight f5, we take the knight, rook check if we block with the queen to get out of the line of fire by the bishop. White doesn't necessarily have to take our pinned piece right away. They could rescue their queen. Should I be considering king d7? Maybe. Yeah, maybe I should. King d7, bishop f5 check. I stopped my calculations earlier with this line after I saw there was bishop f4 check, but if bishop f4 check, we don't have any more worry of our queen. But they might be able to just grab our rook on e8. If there's this bishop on f5, these earlier mentioned ideas with mating on f1, we don't have them anymore. If there's a bishop on f5. Yeah, this is tricky. I'm not sure what the differences are between these two. I mean, clearly, king d6, king d7, tough for me to work these two out. Let me stick with it for just a little bit more. Wouldn't be the first time I've spent a lot of time on one puzzle. Let's see. Is there some key idea I'm missing here? Must be. King d6, knight f5. Do we really even have to take the knight? Just my concern is that our king is going to get checked like crazy. King d7, bishop f5, king c7. Suppose then rook takes rook. Well, that might be it, actually. Walk our king over to c7. If rook takes rook, we can first take this knight with check. If the bishop blocks, we take the bishop, and after the rook recaptures, we get the queen in the corner, and after the smoke clears, we are up a minor piece. King d7, bishop f5, king c7. Man. There's also a rook on c1 check. A bishop f4 check with our king on c7 is really not an issue because of king to b6, and there isn't a good follow-up check. King d7, bishop f5, king c7, rook c1 check concerns me. I'm right about ready to give up. If I haven't gotten it, I don't know. I don't know. I'm at that moment. I'm really close to throwing in the towel here. 11 minutes in to this puzzle. Yikes. I'm once again ready to revisit d6. King d6, knight f5, take the knight. My only concern with that variation was this rook check. Do I have something better? Oh, maybe do I do? No. King d6, knight f5, queen takes knight, rook check. Just block with the bishop, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, this is tough. I don't like to do this, but I'm going to kind of gamble here and maybe see if I could get it as I just move the pieces. Not really the way to solve it, but yeah, I'm just not seeing this one. I'm gonna try for king to d6. Oh my goodness. And that's the variation it goes with. I know what I'm doing on this one. Solved. See how easy? You see how easy it is? Yes. I'm very satisfied with that one. Can you tell? King d6. What am I doing on that? Yeah, really, what am I doing on that move? Can I work it out by moving the pieces around? Knight check. Captures here. My concern was rook check. Now what? Yeah, really, what are we doing here? Knight check something else? I don't know. This one is still confusing to me. This, at least for me, this wasn't the most testing line. The capture of the queen after king d6. Just walking right into a mate. Here. Yeah, I mean, knight f5. If they're taking like this, we have mate. Knight f5. What are we really doing? Are we moving our king or taking the knight? I guess we could just move the king back here. I did mention this. And that gets out of the way of these rook moves with check to our king. I think it would be king to c7. And then, if there's an ensuing check with the bishop, what are we doing here? I guess we could play our king here, and we even have some ideas if this rook leaves. We have ideas, and I didn't even consider this. I was a long way off from considering this, but we have queen a1 ideas and then promoting. If the rook leaves, capturing here, we have this check. And then we're getting a new queen with mate. I guess that this is what it would be. Maybe I'll throw that to you, viewer, if you're still here. Would this be the best reply if knight to f5 is played? King to c7. I'll throw that one at you. I think it's a bad idea to not have a complete closure to this one. I'll throw it at you, you chess fanatics, computer whizzes out there. Don't consult with the computer. See if you can figure it out on your own. Is king c7 the best reply on knight to f5? Tell me what you think in the comment section below. And, yeah, discuss it in the comment section below. Okay, well, not the greatest end to this group of three. I think my favorite was that second one. Feel free to share, as usual, how you did with these three in the comment section below. And I'll catch you in the next video. Hope you got something out of it. Take care. Bye.